Greetings, fellow traders. Bubba here. It's time for the daily market wrap for Friday, January the 29th, 2021. I hope everybody had a great trading day, trading week, and trading month. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right, well, let's check and see where we left off the market here today and this month. And ruh-roh, we got ourselves a red, almost shooting star candle off of the upper Bollinger Band here on the monthly chart. Last time we saw a red upper shadow here off of the upper Bollinger Band, we got the Corona crash, right? So just kind of keep that in mind, right? So there's a lot of gravity here below too. So looking very interesting. And this week was a very strange week in the market. High volatility. We did a whole series on volatility this week, and very interesting here. It's a couple shots across the bow. Monday was a big one, right? And then of course all the volatility that spiked this week with some of the stock names that we're going to be looking at here, and then finally just the final setup right there into the close, so or into today. Finishing the week off with a bearish engulfing candle. That's a tough candle right there. So let's see how that goes going into next week. Looking very interesting. A lot of room down here to the weekly cloud. Daily chart, interesting, right? So we did have a wave 4 pullback right here. I just tweeted out Paul's call out in the group, looking like a zigzag pullback, right? Sort of like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, right, in the short-term time frames, and we're holding the 50-day moving average so far. But the key level here for this this wave 4 wave count to hold, right? It still could push. It could extend down here. We got the macro upper trend line right here. We got the wave 1 level right here. We got the cloud right here. So it's possible to get some downside action. This close is actually just technically very bearish, right? The fact that we closed below this Wednesday candle shows that this thing might be working on a trend shift to the downside. Our big heads up yesterday, we talked about it yesterday. We're a little worried about this inside day upper shadow off the ADMA too. Right, so I mean, everything was there to say that this thing was ready to go. Now we gapped up into the range, right, and then we flushed down today, which was interesting. Now we also had increased volume today too, so that confirms the trend, and you can see the SPY is below its 50-day moving average. So we may be working on a trend shift now. Now, does that mean that we're not going to rally up here for a little bit before we, test the macro upper trend line? No, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, so it's very possible that could happen. So we just need to keep an eye on it. But we're starting to see a true change in composure here at the market. It's something that we haven't really seen since the Corona crash. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. Let's take a look at the ES here today. So it was looking pretty interesting right here. It's below its 50-day moving average, but this gave us some pretty big clues into the open, right? So we had this gap right here. So we faded the gap quickly, right? And then we started to flush. I tweeted, I said, hey, we could see a late day flush, which we did. But at the same time, right, we got a pretty early flush right here, and this thing was epic. I mean, a nice solid wave count on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down here on the 15-minute chart. It's very clear, impulsive wave down. This gave us opportunities to short almost everything. I mean, there was so many good setups today. Tesla was a great short. We'll take a look at it a little bit. I mean, just really incredible stuff today. Just what a day. Shorts are fun, right? I mean, I love shorting. It's just, you kind of have to hope that it only lasts for a couple days, right? Because otherwise the volatility gets crazy. But then you just switch to futures. You don't worry about the volatility. You just trade the price action. So, but it is what it is here. So I got a lot of geometric lines on here today. We broke out of the channel, and now we're kind of holding this geometric line. We'll see how that goes going into Sunday night here on the MES. Let's say the Qs. So Qs again, kind of pushing back a little bit here after hours. 11 up, broke down below the 80 MA today for a nice little move down. IWM again, same thing, back into the this kind of channel right here too. So still looking pretty bearish there. XLF just below the 80 MA for the majority of the day until a little bit of a bounce here at the end of the day. Apple gave multiple short opportunities today. Was generally pretty bearish. I mean, a couple retraces here. There was a little quick retrace here to the 15-week high in the smaller time frames. They gave a nice short opportunity here. Retrace to the 80 MA for another short opportunity. Then just kind of the gobbledygook into the close. Now Tesla, guys, Tesla. I know it's hard if you guys aren't good at shorting. Like I said earlier, one thing you can do is just do inverse Tesla. I mean, tell me you wouldn't have gone long during that, right? I mean, that is like your pre-market box right here. You got a nice cut panel, and then look at the volume that came in there, right? I mean, tell me you wouldn't take that long on a regular Tesla trade, right? On a Tesla long. So it gave us a Tesla short today. So I mean, if you're gonna short Tesla, you got to do it in style. And this thing really just kind of flushed it there. At one point, I was like, yeah, keep going. Let's get this thing down to $200 so we get these premiums reasonable again. But anyway, we'll see how it goes with Tesla. Nice little breakdown on that one there today. So a couple other names that are actually looking interesting. Let's go to the daily chart here. It's kind of going to next week. So I know nobody can trade these anymore because none of the brokers are letting people trade it. But BlackBerry actually looks kind of bearish going into next week. BBBY also looks kind of. These are heavy inside candles right here. BBY, interesting. If it lost that ADMA and started to push down, that could be interesting too. GME was actually still looking a little bit bullish. So we'll see how that goes. Big lower shadow right here. If it takes out that inside day high, maybe it'll squeeze out some more shorts. So we'll see how that goes from there. So interesting stuff there. One other name I want to kind of keep on the radar going into next week is Pfizer. It ended up finishing green, and it didn't have such a horrible day. All right, it kind of bounced off its 200-day moving average right here. I know it's below the 80 but it might do a little bit of an earnings run. It's got earnings early next week, so let's see how that goes on Pfizer. Another name that's looking interesting here for a potential jack in the box down is I didn't see exactly how it goes, but FCell. This thing looks like it could push down here to its 80 If it pushes down below there, it could start testing a couple of these other levels below. And of course, the big one, right? So here's the last FANG standing. Except, well, Nvidia's later, but Nvidia's not really a FANG stock. But this is a big one, right? So this is one we're definitely tracking. We've been talking about this on the Elliott Wave show, and be sure to tune into that on Sunday. But we were looking at this here today. Here's your 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, E wave 4, right? And what's really cool is this last impulsive wave up is kind of showing an ABC down right here, right to the 618, right? So when we closed above it, so this is a really important level here for Amazon to hold going into earnings. Now, if earnings are awesome, maybe Amazon could lead the market up, right? So it's got to break out of the triangle first. Now, if they have a miss and this triangle breaks down, look out, right? So anyway, I just wanted to mention that. We'll talk about it more this weekend too. But anyway, guys, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hope everybody has a great weekend. We're going to be writing the newsletter this weekend, so if you're not in a group, be sure to check that out before Sunday. Links are in the description. We'd love to have you in the group. We do the newsletter. Plus, we got the Discord too, which is awesome. You can talk to me and Paul and stuff like that during the day, and we go live and all that fun stuff. So hopefully you guys can join us there too. So hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game.